Light. Ever imagine a city without light? Do you know that for you to be able to judge things the way they are, for you to be able to tell the difference between colors, the difference between good and bad, real and fake, you need light. Have you imagined ever living in the dark and trying to function as normal? Imagine how confusing it can be. Imagine a group of people living in a place of complete darkness and trying to be able to determine how things are and how things should be. All the people would do is live in assumptions. You know why? Because a blind man tries to fulfill his purpose depending on another person entirely. A blind man has never been able to see until his eyes get open, until his eyes can reflect light. And a blind man cannot lead a blind man. Now the Bible says in the book of Luke chapter 11 from verse 34 to 35, your eyes is the lamp of your body. When your eyes are healthy, your whole body also is full of light. But when they are unhealthy, your body also is full of darkness. A blind man assumes because he cannot see. A blind man cannot tell what the reality of an object is. A blind man cannot tell what the reality of nature is. He can only assume and try to reason it out by touching, feeling, hearing, or believing in what another person tells him. And in most cases, he has a bodyguard or a walking stick to be able to help him sharpen his senses. But then all he does is assume. But a blind man is not able to tell exactly the way things are. And that is how it is in the spirit. That is how we live in the spirit when we do not have the light. When we do not walk in the light, we walk in complete darkness and assume out of the things that we have gone through in life, out of experiences and things that people have taught us, or out of our own lives, trying to figure out by ourselves how life should be and what should be known as good and bad in the society or in our lives. And most times we even allow the voices of others, the voices of people, to determine how our lives should be going and how we should look at the things of life. There are different views and visions, but Jesus is the light. You need the light for the right reflection. People try to live their lives by what they have been told by others. Even when they become born again, they do not operate in the light. But the thoughts of their minds and their reality of others makes them walk around with tinted visions. And so all they see is with colored views. And so the truth becomes altered in their lives. Their reality is not truth. Because the thoughts of others and the thoughts that come from their life's experiences have altered what is the truth, because they do not function in the light. They do not function according to the light guiding them, the one, the only true light. Now the Bible says in Luke chapter 11 verse 35, see to it then that the light within you is not darkness. There is no vision without light. There is only assumptions. You cannot fully determine the reality of life if you are not even able to see what is the truth. And what is being presented to you as a blind man becomes your reality. And it's what you begin to hold so firmly on. It is what you hold so firmly on because you have not known better. You have not been able to see for yourself. Fear becomes a stronghold in our lives when we live in darkness and we take actions out of fear. But Psalms 27 verse 1 is the reality for those who operate in the light. Confusion is very strong in our lives when we do not have the light. Unbelief takes hold of us and we walk in it boldly, not knowing it is out of ignorance. Darkness. You doubt yourself and you doubt your abilities when you do not operate in the light. When you allow yourself to be told by your society, by your performance, by your education, by your pastors, by your family, your friends, situations in life, mindsets, experiences as strange voices that try to alter your true identity. Oh, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Who is your bodyguard or your walking stick? What are you using to see through life? The light or the walking stick? When you use the walking stick only, which is you trying to figure life out by your own self, trying to figure life out of your own human ability, out of your own limited human reasoning, then you depend solely on it, such that if it fails you, you get so confused and misled. When you depend on people who have their own life's experiences, when you depend on human understanding and human interpretation solely and completely without you having the light of God in you personally, then you yourself become limited in your ability, in your true identity. You need Jesus, you need the truth, you need the word. The Bible says in Revelation chapter 21 verse 23, the city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14, this is why I said, wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 13, I saw that the wisdom is better than folly, just as light is better than darkness. The definition of folly according to the dictionary says, a costly ornamental building with no practical purpose. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. You are God's own chosen people. You are God's own people who are called for according to his purposes. If you do not allow the light to come into your life and guide you as a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path, then Jesus told them, you are going to have the light just a little while longer. Walk while you have the light before darkness overtakes you. Whoever walks in the dark does not know where they're going. Believe in the light whilst you have the light, so that you may become children of the light. Jesus is the light.